Now let's do JoyNews Today, because one person is reported dead and two others injured in latest violent clashes recorded in Bawku. Information available to JoyNews indicates that police have picked up 5 persons for allegedly shooting into a crowd of civilians going about their normal daily activities on Saturday afternoon, resulting in the death of one person. According to the reports, an M16 rifle was retrieved from one of the suspects, who are all now in custody, pending further investigation. In what appears to be a separate incident, a driver and his passengers from Bawku to a yet-to-be-confirmed destination are all said to have been killed on Sunday afternoon. Civilians and well-meaning stakeholders are extremely worried about the recent development. MC for the area, Hamza Amadou, joins us live with more. He joins us via phone. So grateful to you for joining us, Honorable. What can you tell us about the dead and injured? Who are they?
Yes. In fact, straightforward is that the dead person is not a resident of Bawku. He hails from the southern part of the country and account by ethnic or tribal groupings.
Okay.
And so my attention was drawn to the fact that he lives in Volga and he's a teacher in Volga, Tanga, the capital of the Upper East Regional region. And he has a car that he does some weekend galamsey, which, let me put it in that loose term, galamsey. As in part-time business. And so he drove to Bawku with passengers. Apparently was standing close to the traffic light in Bawku, just closer to the total filling station. And in fact, the assailant came closer, fired at the crowd, and he was badly injured. They rushed with him to the hospital. He passed on. The other 2 ladies also were injured. And I'm told that one other person who is a man, he's also injured. But it's only one death so far within Bawku that this incident took place.
So these are the same people who were believed to be traveling to an unknown location were killed, right?
No. That is a different thing. I think that I was also told that a vehicle was moving out of Bawku, I think got to northeast, somewhere in the village known as Bimsi. According to the report from the police, that some other men also in that area also shot at that particular vehicle.
Okay.
And my information is also to the effect that the vehicle is coming from Bawku. That's it. That's what I know about it. And that one also led to the death of one person.
Okay.
Yes.
Have we been able to understand what could have led or triggered this latest shooting?
Technically, we are working on that. When I say we, the securities are working to find out, ascertain the cause of that particular incident. Yes. We are working to see and to unravel the main cause of that particular shooting. We cannot tell unless the police themselves will come out with the findings that indeed this was what triggered that. Shooting.
But recently, the place had been a bit calm. Did we hear of any undertones that were building up, which could probably have led to this?
In Bawku, one thing is certain. The place will become today, in the next minute or the next hour or the next day, another thing. So you cannot predict Bawku. You cannot say there is a period of certainty. There's a period of calmness for long. But I can tell you exactly that if there is gunshot within 1 minute, in the next minute, there could be calmness. And so you cannot predict it. It's difficult to predict it. Otherwise, your question relates to something we have consistently spoke about it, that in fact, there are some audio and social media banter between the two feuding factions. And usually when those things happen frequently, each of the factions will threaten that they want to do this, they want to do that, and that will lead to some shooting either within some minutes some hours or some days.
Okay. All right.
Usually that is there. Yes. Yes.
We wish you and the security setup all the best as you try your best to stem the tide. So that is, someone at the head of RECSEC there speaking to us about what's happening in Bawku. To other stories, residents of Tinguri and Bani in the West Mamprisi municipality of the Northeast region have raised concerns about a possible water and food crisis following the collapse of a dam in the communities. The dam, which had served as the reliable source of water, broke its bank, and as a result of hours of torrential rainfall last week, Wednesday, led to that destruction. Now, the chief of the community says the collapse of the dam is likely to cause water and food shortages and has thus called for its speedy reconstruction. Addressing a delegation led by the Member of Parliament, the community's Assemblyman Bugzua Idrisu blamed the lack of attention by the Municipal Assembly authorities for the collapse of the dam. Correspondent Elias Utanko has more.
Dam was part of a number of dams constructed across Mampregu in 1964 during the regime of the late Na Alhaji Mumuni Baumia as the Northern Regional Minister. It was constructed through a communal labor by residents of 5 communities in response to the perennial water shortages and for the purposes of dry season farming. The dam was first destroyed in 1962 but was quickly fixed and since then had never seen any rehabilitation. In 2020, ahead of the general election, the MPP government included it as part of the dams to be renovated under its One Village, One Dam initiative. However, this plan failed to materialize as the dam was never renovated until it collapsed last Wednesday. The assemblyman for the area, Bugzua Idrisu, said several complaints about the deteriorating state of the dam had been raised during the municipal assembly meetings but were ignored.
They are very much aware. On the 26th of July, it was raised at the assembly on the floor of the assembly, and MCA assured me that as and when an opportunity is created, look at it. But unfortunately, about 2 weeks down the lane, this thing has happened.
He said the dam wouldn't have collapsed if authorities had responded positively to the appeals for its rehabilitation.
The water was leaking through the dam. There was a very big hole through which the water leaks out of the dam. That is the very route that the water has collapsed the bank, because as the water has come in a huge volume, it has forced its way through to the hole, and that has brought about the collapse. The dam needed to be desilted in order to be able to contain the huge volumes of water that is coming into the dam, which did not happen. And again, the hole that through which the water was leaking out of the dam, if had covered this, wouldn't have found ourselves in this situation.
The dam had been the most reliable source of water for farming and other domestic purposes, in particular during the dry season. The collapse of the dam, coupled with a heavy downpour, caused massive flooding that took over farmlands and houses and destroyed the Nalerugu Wale Road, among other public infrastructures. The chief of the community emphasized the importance of the dam to him and his people and called for its immediate reconstruction. The chief was addressing the Member of Parliament, Hajia Laribazwira to Abudu, who was touring the areas in her constituency affected by the floods.
All around certain areas, and it's huge. You could see that a lot of women have lost their items. Some of them have lost their clothing, their mattresses. Some of their houses have submerged. They are down. Most farms. The farms has been taken away by the water, and then the students, the school children. Somebody told me my books are gone. My school uniforms are gone, and that's where we are. So a lot of their belongings are gone. Their cooking utensils, mattresses. So I need help for Walwale constituency. Everybody should help me.
The MP also responded to the concerns of the chief and members of the community.
Also extending water to these 2 areas, and then I'm happy that these 2 areas have the rain of water is very low, so you can dig a borehole and get water. So we'll look at it. If there's a need, we can get boreholes.
I mean, how fast are you going to do that?
But it depends on the necessity. If we realize that they are in need, if it comes, where with them, we'll know.
On his part, the municipal chief executive Arimia Osomolaki acknowledged the delay in responding to the concerns about the dam, but said it was due to limited resources at the assembly. He assured the people that the dam will be quickly and properly fixed.
Rehabilitation of dam, it has been in our assembly medium-term development plan for a very long time. It is part of the contractor that is working on the road will have to fill the dam first, so it's part of the contract. What I want to assure the people is that indeed they have seen how the government reacted to what happened to us for the past 2 days. Now there's a temporary structure that they are putting in place so that motorists can pass. Then they are also going to do a mini culvert bridge that they will be using once they come back to reconstruct a very good one for the people so that motorists can use it. And all these things, they are going to be done within the shortest possible time.
Commercial drivers who applied from Barrier to Michelle Camp and Saki Bediako Roads in the Katamanso municipality of the Greater Accra region are on a sit-down strike to protest the deplorable state of roads in the enclave. Our Tema correspondent Carlos Caloni has been engaging some of the drivers and commuters as well as authorities in the municipality. There is more in the following report.
According to the commercial drivers, until they see a contractor on the road, they are not returning to work. Some of them have been speaking to Joy News.
I am a driver and we feel this place all the time. Our roads here are very bad. They are very, very bad. And we've called on the authority for a series of times. All they say is the road has been awarded to a contractor. We probably remember about a year or two. They came here to cut a sword that this road will be constructed very soon. And we don't know when soon is that road going to be constructed. Because it's quite over 2 years now. And we still keep on suffering. Recently, what triggers this sit-down strike is, recently we saw a video going viral that our MP asked questions about our road. And then the road minister told him that the government has no plan for Katamanso roads and other roads that he mentioned of. So meanwhile, then we got to know that the assembly, they are deceiving us. Meanwhile, each and every day, they come there to collect tolls.
Some commuters have also been expressing concerns over the state of the roads in the area.
I just came to the roadside about an hour ago trying to get a cab to work. But it looks as though the road has been blocked. This is what you can see here. The road is in a very, very, very bad shape. As such, the drivers here are on demonstration and do not want any other driver to use the road. That's why we are all stranded here looking for vehicles to travel to our workplaces.
It's very disappointed because I'm working with vehicle roofing system. I'm staying at home. I have to take car from Barrier to Michelle Camp Gate. And this morning, this is what I've met. And in fact, it's very bad.
Leadership have been deceiving the residents all this while, and this is what has angered the residents to stand up now. As I tell you now, we are planning. The next one will be bigger than this one. So it appears that it means that we have to take our destiny into our own hands and ensure that we do our own things. The situation has angered the residents. As I speak to you now, many or hundreds of them today walked on their foot to their various workplaces, and it appears that if we are not careful, this will continue for a very long time.
Of drivers.
According to the minister, they don't have any program for this road as a ministry. So I quickly called the assembly to inform them what has just happened or what I read in the morning. And the assembly even sent me the document indicating that this road has been awarded. And I had the opportunity to ask a follow-up question to the minister. That this is my checks at the assembly this is what the assembly is also saying, that they have contracts on this particular road. So if he's also saying that there's nothing on their records, then how are we going to reconcile the two positions? They can only consider this road in the 2024 budget. And as you can see, this road needs urgent attention. So the minister cannot push us to 2024.
Now, MC for the area, Samuel Oko Amankwa, joins us live with more. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm grateful for joining us. When will the roads be fixed for your constituents?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your listeners. Like I said earlier on, when the gentleman called me, we are working on a temporary measure for now.
Okay.
Procurement is done. We are hoping that by the weekend, the contractor will come to site to have the road reshaped and graveled so that we can ramp it and make it a bit solid.
Okay.
But to have the road done permanently, that one will come from central government.
Okay.
So I was also surprised when the minister said they don't have a plan for Calypso to Michelle Camp Road. But of course, I have shared the document we have here, which is an indication of a contract given to one Mark Star to work on that road. And therefore, we will contact the ministry because it's government to government. We need to go to them, reconcile the records, and make sure we are on the same page. Okay. Because the contract was not signed by the assembly. It was signed by the chief director of the ministry. So that is the situation we have now. I share in the woes and the disappointment of the community members, the truck drivers, and then the taxi drivers.
Okay.
This is a situation that I agree with them is very bad and is making things uncomfortable.
So what does the contract say? You said you've seen you have a document which shows that they've given it out to someone. What's the name of the contractor and what does it really say?
The contract, let me read what I have before me. It was addressed to the Honorable Municipal Chief Executive, Konkata-Manso Municipal Assembly. And he said, dear sir, upgrading of selected roads in Zeno and Kong area roads. Phase 1, which is a 5.23 kilometer road. And that has to do with Calypso to Michelle Camp and then Bediako Roads. The total length of the road is 5.23 kilometers. And it's awarded to a contractor named Mark Stan Limited. And that is the fact of the case. That is the situation. We have a document.
Okay.
This document was sent to us last year. And around November, we went to site with the contractor. And we handed the oversight to him, hoping that he will come to start work. And up to now, we have not heard from the contractor.
Okay.
But we are still working with the ministry and urban roads to see what can be done quickly to have the road permanently done.
Okay. And you're saying that by weekend, you would have fixed the road. I mean, the temporary fixing, right?
Yes, temporarily. And we'll keep on doing this. Yes, this year.
I'm grateful to you. We'll be keeping tabs on this. We'll be coming to you regularly to check on what's happening. Grateful to you. That's the MC for the area. And on this note, we'll take a break. We'll be back with business here on JoyNews Today.
Good afternoon, welcome to business. My name is Daryl Powell. AngloGold Ashanti Obuasi Mine has reconstructed the dilapidated portions of the Obuasi-Dunkwa Road with concrete pavements. The road project is expected to facilitate efficient transportation for residents and businesses for economic boost. This is part of the company's 10-year socio-economic development plan for host communities. There is more in this report.
The reconstructed 1.4-kilometer road leading to the Nshiaso community was worn out for several months, impeding smooth vehicular movement. The road is a major link connecting the Ashanti region from the Obuasi township to the central and western regions. The road refurbishment is part of AngloGold Ashanti's commitment to improve critical infrastructure in its host communities. Municipal Chief Executive of Obuasi, Elijah Dansebona, indicated the original state of the road truncated easy access to the township.
From these villages to the district capital, it's far. So instead of going to Jakobu, Amase Central, they all come to Obuasi. So whenever, just as I said, pregnant women are being taken to the hospital and they get here, it was an eyesore. I wish you could, as at that time, come and then take a video of how bad this stretch was. So now that it has been paved, it has solved the problem.
According to Senior Sustainability Manager of AGA Obuasi Mine, Emmanuel Beidou, the road project would not only boost economic activities but enhance security.
Whilst we look at investing in improving the infrastructure of our communities, we are also looking at what we can do to enhance the security of the people. We realize that the state of the road was very, very bad, and that had a huge impact on the safety and security of the people. And so this is where we thought that since we have been working collaboratively with the Assembly and we have a commitment to support the development process of Obuasi, we definitely have a role to play.
Commuters and road users could not hide their excitement. Peter Beidou is a driver at Inshiesu community. The road was really deplorable. We had challenges plying the stretch. We pleaded with AGA to reconstruct the road. We are glad they did.
So far, no, best more than other roads.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bratkweku.
Now, critics of the fast fashion industry are alluding to a business that is encouraging overconsumption and waste with an adverse impact on the environment. The trillion-dollar industry is responsible for a percentage of the global negative environmental effects, including high levels of toxic chemicals and textile waste. Lab FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong speaks with academia who say they are working to clean up the fashion industry and embrace circular economy principles.
In the last decade, the fashion industry has doubled production, generating massive waste in the process. Less than 1% of waste collected is used to make new clothing. Others end up at landfill sites or get burnt. These trends are not only damaging the environment, they are limiting the opportunities for the fashion industry to succeed in the long term. Lecturer at the Fashion and Textiles Department, KNUST, Eunice Owusuenchi, says the industry already misses out on monetary value from clothing being worn less and barely recycled. She was speaking at the 2023 edition of the KNUST Fashion Show in Kumasi.
Right from the point of conceptualization, designing the garment, and deciding what fabric to use, what to combine it with, for a particular purpose that you intended for. It should be able to serve that purpose and have longevity. So that is what I'm looking at. The new crop procedures that are coming out would put into practice or implement in their designing, in their creation, so that we don't see much of fashion landing in the landfill side. People discarded fashion so quickly, and then that will also help us to save money for the consumer, to save the environment when it comes to the materials you are picking from the environment to create fashion.
Globally, clothing consumption is predicted to rise by 2030. But there is more fashion designers can do to reduce the carbon fashion footprint. New designs can be made out of them. Eunice Owusu-Antwi wants both fashion students and industry persons to incorporate a timeless style into designs.
Even though we say fashion is evolutionary, fashion, it's driven by change, we want to create fashion that is also sustainable. Sustainable in the sense that the design itself lasts, has longevity. You can fall in love with a design for a really long time without discarding it. Secondly, the material that you are choosing to create that particular design or that particular fashion.
All right, and that's it for business. The news continues after the break. Let's do some sports now. On JoyNews Today, I am Muftau Nabila Abla. The Ghana Football Association has released the list of people who have filed nominations to contest for various positions within the football governing body. The top two, which is the president, was filed by Kurt Edwin Simeon Okroko, who is the incumbent president of the football governing body, and George Kwesi Efriye. So these two are contesting for the topmost position within the Ghana Football Association. For the Women's Executive Council position, only one person filed her nomination, Gifty Efia Owari Mensah. Hazaka's ladies, Evelyn Sian was expected to file her nomination, but unfortunately she couldn't do that. What we understand is that some few weeks ago, she was involved in a car accident. So the reason why she's not filed her nomination. And also Mark Ado, Samuel Enimado, Eugene Noble, Ni Emon Noel, and then Gideon Ofosu, Alexander Ababio. These are the people who are vying for the Division 1 slot. For the Premier League, 11 people: Kingsley Osebonsu, Nana Safo Odro, Frederick Echampon, Anthony Kwesi Orban, that is Dr. Tony Orban, Ransford Annette Abe, who is, that is Randy Abe, and Asenzo of Legon Cities, Edmond Kobina Aka of Samatex, Kwesi Apia of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Amadou Moro, Berma of Accra House of Oak, Eleanor Mande, Karela United, and Raphael Jabra, who is also the RFA chairman for Bono region. Now let's hear from Kurt Edwin Simeon Okroko, who says that his leadership of football makes him the perfect person to continue heading the Football Association. According to him, Ghana football is in safe hands if delegates gives him another opportunity to steer the affairs of football in the country.
Trusted hand, the trusted leader is the one speaking to all of you. People believe in the leadership. That's the reason why they are here. They trust the leadership. That's why they are here. Most importantly, they trust in the vision of the leader. That's why they are here. And they are here, and we are here to again say one thing. We are together. We are together in good times. We are together in bad times. Our game will go through bad times, but our game will go through a lot of good times. Our collective future is very bright.
Keto Krekude speaking after filing his nomination on Friday. George Efriye disagrees, though. He said that the number of people who are contesting for the position of Executive Council shows that they are not happy with the leadership of football. This will wrap up sports here on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah.
Welcome back, and just before we go, George Prime's Culinary Combat Big Chef Tertiary on Sunday saw its first eviction of the season. For the week's challenge, the contestants were tasked with preparing any dish of their choice with a secret ingredient, chicken. Koforidua Technical University painfully exited the competition as they failed the chicken challenge, while Accra Technical University impressed the judges with their meal, earning them the Star School of the Day title. Nana Krobi Asante Adontihene of Mprayaso was the guest judge alongside the regular judges, Chef Sam and Jerry there. And so that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Marketplace is up next with Daryl Kwao. Good afternoon.